I'm Laura Rose, and I'm here with Fantascize.com to bring you another video book review in our series of book reviews. Today I'm going to be talking to you about The Portal by Zendell, and this is a science fiction book set in a dystopian America only a couple hundred years from now, and it follows our main character Harry as he grows up. When we first meet Harry, he's a young boy and he's struggling with the fact that no one understands him except for his grandfather. His relationship with his parents isn't that great, and his grandfather essentially brings him up to understand a lot of things about what's happening in the world and politics and economics and his own morals. So Harry's really sad when he finds out that his grandfather's sick and is going to have to be moved to a nursing home. We see a Harry that's kind of snobby. He's a little bit of a brat, very, very smart, very self-aware, and that's one of the reasons I like him, because in the beginning he's not very likable. So he ends up being a great character. And Harry's grandfather pushes him to go out and find someone else that he connects with. Now, Harry definitely has friends. He's not so stupid that he gets ostracized. He realizes that he's got to make some connections with people. He plays baseball. He just doesn't have anybody that really truly connects with him until he meets his friend Laurie. Now, the America that we're introduced to is only a couple hundred years into the future, but it's an America deeply in decline. So what we see is an economy that's collapsed, political unrest, a lot of poverty, a lot of unemployment, and this shapes Harry and Laurie's childhoods, and when they find each other, that gives them a sense of security that they don't get from anyone around them. So they bond really quickly, and obviously they fall in love. It's a little bit of a love story. When they're teenagers, they fall in love as only teenagers can. You remember when you loved someone in high school, and that's how he describes love in the book. It's innocent but intense, and the kind of thing that you think is going to be with you forever. So when Laurie mysteriously disappears, her mother is involved in some really bad people, and she essentially goes away overnight. Harry is completely and totally devastated, and this is a huge turning point in the book, because essentially the rest of the book is him trying to find her, figure out what happened to her, and also deal with his feelings as he goes through life without her. So this also helps affect his friendship with his friend Carlos, who's on his baseball team, and Carlos sees how this affects Harry, and it really brings the two of them together, and their friendship is one of the great stories of the book as well. We see a world that is really believable to what could happen today. Something like Brave New World, where you see an allusion to America, and they talk about what America is like today, but then in the future it's so crazy that you can basically say, oh, Brave New World, that'll never happen. That's completely, out of possibility. So far in the future, I can't even imagine that. That's not what this is like. This really integrates a lot of what we see in America today. He talks about 9/11 and how that's the beginning of the end, and then how everything just declines from there. Terrorist attack, America goes from being a huge power to nothing, and it is scarily believable how that could happen, and he writes it really well. This is a huge thing because Harry has always grown up with a great sense of self, and as he gets older, he starts to realize he's been kind of a prick when he's younger, he's made some mistakes, and he's really self-reflective, and he becomes more likable as the book goes on. And you can really relate to him because he looks back on his mistakes and tries to learn from them, but sometimes his emotions take over and he just does the wrong thing even though he knows it's wrong, which is something that all of us do. We're only human. And he's trying to help the world the best way that he knows how. There's a lot of hope in the book for the people because they're talking about exploring the stars and going to colonize other planets. So it's sci-fi without being too in your face. You can actually think that a little bit from now we could have a portal to another world. Maybe we will have time travel, something like that. But nothing that is completely unbelievable. That's why I like it. It really grounds it into our life today. The book was really great. I highly enjoyed it. There's a lot of great themes. Like I said, it talks a lot about the economic collapse of America, and makes you think a lot about where we're going and where our country is headed and what would happen if all of a sudden we weren't the strong power that we are anymore. It also talks a lot about politics. That got a little heavy, so if you're not into something that's going to be talking about treaties and things like that, then just be aware of that. I actually did have to stop reading every once in a while just to absorb everything that was going on. Harry has a really strong narrative. It's pretty philosophical sometimes. I would relate it to something like Nick Carraway and The Great Gatsby. Not as romantic as that. Maybe something like Gene Forrester from Separate Peace. Very strong male character, very strong narrative, opinionated, self-reflective. I really liked it. I related to it, but like I said, it got deep. So sometimes I had to just put the book down, get away from it, really absorb it, and then come back and pick it up. It did take me a while to get to that point where I just really wanted to find out what happened, but I really, really enjoyed reading it. And I would say that if you like something like that, you should definitely check this book out. The sci-fi is great. It's not in your face, just like the rest of everything. The love story that really drives it. Love is the biggest theme in this book. It's what makes Harry do all of his decisions. Not only his romantic love, but also friendship. That's a huge thing in there as well. And it talks about how love can start and grow and change, and how friendships are the same way, and that friendships can be just as important as romantic love, and it's really a great part of the story. I'd say you should definitely check this out. I don't really have any criticisms for it, although I did say it's a very heavy-handed narrative, so you might need to just back off when you're reading it, but it's definitely worth a read, and the ending is so good. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. That's how you know I liked it. My only big criticism is that while the inside of this book is fabulous, the outside of the book I do not like. If you're going to read a book, you know we're all probably going to judge it by its cover and the font and the picture. Just do not do justification to how awesome the book is inside. It does represent what you're going to read, but I think that, you know, this is so much better in here than what you see outside. So definitely just skip this first part and just go read it, because it's super good. I would not be surprised if this got bigger, if it became a sci-fi classic. I really, really, really enjoyed it. So go check it out. Also make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right down there or somewhere, there's a red button. And then you can watch all my videos, because I'm really fun. And I like to talk about really cool sci-fi fantasy books. Definitely make sure you comment, because I literally right now read every single comment and will reply to you guys. So make sure you let me know. Maybe pick it up, give it a read, and tell me what you think. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye.